Hello everybody, today we've got round 8 of the 2024 recent president spinner battle. Last time, spoiler, we lost to Bill Clinton, but one of these 5 is eventually going to win it all. But today the spinner is going to give the axe to one of them. I don't know who it's going to be, but we're about to find out. I always appreciate the comments and everybody that enjoys this series. Hopefully your pick to win it is still in it since the beginning. You can always make a new pick or have somebody to root against. But let's dive into the spins, and as always, we've got Alaska first. They've got 3 electoral votes in the last frontier, and the first state is going to go to number 2, that is Lyndon Johnson. The next state is going to be Hawaii, and they've got another 4 votes. Let's give those to number 4, George W. Bush. Now we keep going to Washington. They've got another 12 votes, and those are going to be snagged by number 1, JFK. Oregon is next. They've got 8 votes. And that's another one for number 4, George Walker Bush. The next state is California. They've got 54 votes, but that's not a guarantee you'll make it to the next round anymore. It's still a huge cushion. Let's find out who's going to get them. That's number 2. That's going to go to Lyndon Johnson. Now we go one state east to Nevada. They've got 6 votes. Let's give them out. Those are also going to Johnson. Idaho's next. 4 votes. Number 1, it's going to Kennedy. Next, it's Utah. Here's another 6 votes on the table. That's another one going to Kennedy. Next, it's the Grand Canyon State. That's Arizona, 11 votes. And 3 straight for John F. Kennedy. Next, it's Montana. 4 votes. Every little bit adds up. And that's going to go to number 4, George W. Bush. Wyoming is the next spin. 3 votes. And that is number 3, Gerald Ford with his first state. This time everybody in except for Biden. Let's do Colorado. Here comes 10 more votes. And that is number 4, Bush with his 4th state. New Mexico is the next spin. Who's going to get 5 more votes? Number 1, John F. Kennedy. North Dakota is the next spin. Let's give out another 3 votes. To number 5, Joe Biden makes his entrance on round number 8. South Dakota is next. There's another 3 votes. And those are going to be won by George W. Bush. Nebraska is next, at large first, 2 votes. And on the line, but number 1, Kennedy claiming another 2. Nebraska's first congressional district. 1 vote coming to Lyndon Johnson. Nebraska's second. Another electoral vote coming to number 3, Gerald Ford. Nebraska's third. Last vote for Nebraska coming to number 4, George W. Bush. Kansas is next. They've got 6 votes on the table, and they're going to be given to number 2, Lyndon Johnson. The next spin is Oklahoma, and they've got 7 votes. And that is a 1. That's going to John F. Kennedy. Next, we've got the Lone Star State, Texas. Johnson was U.S. Senator from this state. George W. Bush was governor of this state, and Kennedy died in this state. I'm pretty sure the other 2 have heard of or even been to this state a couple of times. A lot going on in Texas. 40 votes. Let's give them out. Here's the spin. Number 5, that is going to Joe Biden. He picks up a huge state. Next, it's Minnesota. We've got 10 votes. Here's the spin. Number 1, John F. Kennedy. Next, Iowa has 6 electoral votes. And that is another one for Kennedy. Next, it's the Show Me State. Missouri, 10 more votes. Coming to number 1, Kennedy with another 3 in a row. Arkansas is next. 6 electoral votes. Number 3, Gerald Ford. He's now into double digits. Louisiana's next. 8 votes at the Gulf. Here it is. Number 1, Kennedy with yet another state. Next, we go to Wisconsin. They've got 10 votes. And the Badger State is coming to number 3. Gerald Ford, he doubles his total. He's at 20. Illinois is the next spin. They've got a lot of votes. There's 19. And that is 2 in a row for Gerald Ford. He's not on the bottom anymore. Now it's George W. Bush. Next, it's Ford's home state of Michigan. Can he go 3 in a row? Here's the spin. A lot of votes here. And that is going to go to Biden. He picks up another 15. Indiana's next. Here comes 11 votes. Number 2, Lyndon Johnson. Kentucky's the next spin. Anybody want 8 more votes? That's going to be George W. Bush. Tennessee is next. Here comes the spin. 11 votes. Number 2, Lyndon Johnson. Mississippi is the next spin. Who's going to get 6 more? That's going to be George W. Bush. Next, we go east to Alabama. There's another 9 votes waiting to be snagged. And it's going to be George W. Bush doing the snagging. So now Gerald Ford is on the bottom. Let's do Florida. 30 votes in the Sunshine State. Number 2, Lyndon Johnson. He's the first one, over 100. Georgia is the next spin. 16 more. It's going to Joe Biden. Number 5, South Carolina is next. Here comes 9 more votes. And those are going to go in the George W. Bush column. Next, North Carolina. They've got 16. And we're going to give all those to Lyndon Johnson. Ohio's next, 17 votes in the Buckeye State. And that's a 1. That's going to go to John F. Kennedy. West Virginia is the next spin. They've got 4 votes. Here it is. That's going to go to Kennedy, and that's going to be enough to put him into triple digits. Now we go to the northeast corner. We go to Maine at large. Only 2 electoral votes, but it could be pivotal later on. That is going to go to George W. Bush, Maine's 1st congressional district. Here's the spin. Number 5, Joe Biden claiming that one. Maine's 2nd. And we've got another number 5, Biden, picking up both districts in Maine. Now we go to New Hampshire. We've got 4 votes. Here's the spin. Those 4 are coming to number 4. That is George W. Bush. Vermont is next. 3 votes. Here's the spin. Who's going to get them? Number 2. That's going to be Lyndon Johnson. Now we've got New York. We've got 28 votes. Gerald Ford, he's kind of fallen out of it, but he's got a 1 in 5 chance of picking up these 28. That would put him right back into this. So let's see if Ford can put up a 3. Here comes the spin. Ooh, that is close to a 3, but it's not. That is a 4, and that's going to go to George W. Bush. So Ford is going to start to feel the pressure. Let's do Massachusetts. Here's 11 votes. And over the line the other way this time. That's a 2. That's going to go to Lyndon Johnson. Connecticut is next. 7 votes. Here's the spin. That's a 5. That's going to go to Joe Biden. Rhode Island is going to be the next spin. 4 more votes in the Ocean State. And that's another one for Biden. He's going 2 in a row. New Jersey's next. 14 votes. Ford looking for a 3. It's a 2. Lyndon Johnson claiming the Garden State. And actually right now it looks like there's just enough votes remaining for Gerald Ford to tie Joe Biden if he wins out. So it's not looking good here at all for Ford. But we've still got to finish it out. Let's do Delaware. Here comes 3 votes. Who's going to get them? Number 4, George W. Bush. So that might be it for Ford. Let's keep going. Let's do Maryland. They've got 10 more. And that is a 1. That's going to go to Kennedy. Washington, D.C. That's the next spin. And that's a 3. Ford. He's going to get at least 3 more. Next, it's Pennsylvania. Here comes 19 votes. And we've got a 1. That's going to go back to Kennedy. Last spin, it's Virginia. 13 votes. It's kind of anticlimactic this time, but it is a 4. It's going to go to George W. Bush. That puts him over 100. So this time, the winner with 166 is Lyndon Johnson. JFK's in 2nd place with 131. George W. Bush gets 3rd place with 112. Joe Biden, 4th place with 87. And way down at the bottom this time, we've got Gerald Ford with 42. So the man who was never elected president, he made it all the way to round 8. Not a bad finish at all. He put up a few states, including Wisconsin and Illinois. The spinner just wasn't there for him this time. Kennedy with a lot of states, Bush with a lot of states. Biden gets the big state of Texas at the right time. Who knows what would have happened if one of these states was different, but this is what the spinner delivered in round 8. Not as much excitement as we had last time, but they all can't come down to the very end. Sometimes you get kind of a landslide, and that's it for Ford. He's going to go back home to Michigan. And we're down to the final 4, so let me know in the comments. Did you have Ford going home this time, or were you pushing for him to win it all? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.